Fratelli Italia, Italia se ne sta, delle mori schibios estinta le testa, le vittoria, le poga, le somma, se Scivia de Roma, e Dio le Crio. That's right! It's the Italy session on making states, making nations. We've come to that point. It's what, week 5, week 6, and we start drilling down into specific national case studies, which always gives us the excuse to enjoy the glory that is the Italian national anthem. Again, one of the earlier national anthems to emerge in this period of sort of national cultural awakening that we're dealing with. Italy is a fascinating case study by virtue of what a mess Italy is as a nation. And let's be frank, Italy is still pretty messy in terms of its internal politics. I mean, you just look at the sort of chaotic state and the constant sort of turnover of governments that we're seeing in an Italian context over the sort of the last, well, decade or so. Part of that is rooted in this sort of this fragmented cultural nature, which leads to the composition of the nation of Italy. What we'll be looking at on Monday is the way in which this awkward, almost sort of confederation of standalone states is awkwardly forced together to create a singular national identity. We'll be exploring some of the mechanisms by which that identity is created. As we do so, we will continue to wade our way through these Japanese single strike cards and see what's happening. Our narrative with Italy actually takes us back to the French Revolution. I keep on saying that we're done with the French Revolution, but you know what? It's almost inescapable, courtesy of Napoleon, a Qingling. Napoleon sort of kicks things off by creating these smaller republics in the northern part of Italy. It's really the first time that somebody makes a concerted effort to bring the various constituent elements of what will become Italy together as Italy. Prior to that, you have this amazing spread of standalone states. That's a shiny ente. Very nice. We'll take that. We've had it before, but it's fine. The Big Pig! We love the Big Pig. Nothing overly Italian in any of that, but we'll press on. Again, only 5 cards in these Japanese packs, so you go through them fairly quickly. So the Cisalpine and the Cisalpine republics are established by Napoleon. He first creates this idea of unifying chunks of Italy together. That will ultimately lead us on a path towards the Risorgimento, the awakening or reawakening of Italy in terms of political consciousness. It's a prolonged period. The road towards Italian unification is far from simple. It leads to what can only be described as a prolonged period of civil war. Out of it come a number of sort of Italian folk heroes, most notably in the form of Giuseppe Garibaldi, who will become an important figurehead in the context of Italian fascism. Pipe, some sort of pipe, and not much there. We'll press on. Once that process is sort of formally completed in terms of Italy being unified as a sort of a political entity on a map, there is the much greater challenge of creating Italian cultural unity. You have those classic reference points from the leading politicians of the time as Italy sort of first formally unifies, where it's described as, a political alliance with people from Naples is like going to bed with someone with smallpox. Nice statements like that coming from northern Italians about southern Italians. And you have this very awkward relationship between the two. And how do you resolve that? What mechanisms do you place? What cultural mechanisms do you put in place to bridge those historical sort of difficulties in terms of a relationship between the two? Still nothing in these. Don't have that card, so that's one for the master set, and that's good. We'll press on. We will explore some of the ways in which cultural figures
are made use of to push forward that narrative. The anthem itself partially plays a role in that, but we will see, just as we saw in places like Belgium and the Netherlands, that things like opera will be important as well. Figures like Verdi are... This might be the last pack, so we're hoping for last pack luck. Figures like Verdi are co-opted by Italian nationalists. But the interesting question is, or there is a shine at the bottom, I think this is the right pack to finish on. There is this sort of question mark over Verdi as to whether or not he was actually an Italian nationalist or a sort of a true believer in a unified Italian state or nation. However, whether he was or wasn't... Oh, yes! Ah! Yes! Ah! Look at that! It's the VMAX! It's single strike Urshifu VMAX! We don't have this! That is very nice! It's not secret rare, so I don't have to perform, but I'm in the mood to perform anyway, so it's irrelevant. Yes! Ah, Wales win. We're doing the Italy session, and single strike VMAX card. Very, very nice. Knew it. Last pack luck. I mean, we could only go through so many of these before something would come up. So that is very, very nice indeed. Good way to finish. I was talking about Verdi. Yes, so whether Verdi himself or not was a nationalist was irrelevant because his operatic works were incredibly popular with nationalists. They were exploring narratives of sacrifice for an idea of nation. They're exploring the idea of unification. All ideas that fed into this proto form of Italian nationalism. So we'll be looking at that as well. We'll be thinking about music. We'll be touching a little bit on Nabucco. I mean, some of the lyrics in Nabucco. I mean, "Oh, mia patria, si bella perduta." It's a brilliant piece of operatic work, and we will be enjoying that in part in the session. My apologies, it's been a little bit late getting to this over the weekend with the snowstorms, and I'm sure you can hear the rainstorms outside. Recording conditions have not been optimal, but we are hoping for the best for Monday morning. Anyway, there we go. It'll be musical, it'll be Italian, it'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing you all on Monday morning. Have a great what's left of the weekend, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Good night.